you wondering if your little one has speech delay or do they have autistic spectrum disorder? Hi there, it's Neesha from My Favorite Physio. In today's video, I'm jumping in to share with you 3 key features that would determine if your child has only a speech delay versus your child having autistic spectrum disorder. So here at My Favorite Physio, we see lots of little ones, and we are often asked by parents, do you think my child has a speech delay along with a gross motor skill delay, or do you think that my child has autistic spectrum disorder? So here at My Favorite Physio, our expert pediatric physiotherapists are able to carry out an assessment to screen if your child has autistic spectrum disorder or not. And there are a few things that we would be looking out for. So here are the 3 key signs you will be looking out for if you are concerned and you're sitting out there with your little one. The first thing is speech delays. However, we are also looking for odd speech patterns, such as echolalia. So echolalia is when a child copies a phrase or a word that somebody says word for word in the same accent. So you might often find that children who have autistic spectrum disorder watch a program, and then hours later or days later or weeks later, they are then suddenly coming up with the same phrase out of context. So for example, we might have a little child go, "It's Cinderella's shoes," with the full expression and gesturing as they had seen the scene on the program that they had watched. And it would be out of context. And then they'll just move on like nothing happened. So echolalia is one of those odd speech patterns that we would see children with autistic spectrum disorder exhibit. Children with speech delays tend not to do that. So you could have a child who's delayed in their speech and not be able to put 2 words together, suddenly say phrases like that out of context. The second sign you'll be looking out for is social reciprocity. So children with autistic spectrum disorder tend to lack that social reciprocity, meaning they're not aware that you are a person with feelings and that they would ask you for things. So you'll find their eye contact very poor. They don't come to you to ask you for something. They might just come to you and grab your hand and take and put your hand on the very thing that they want. Whereas a child with speech delay tends to look at you and gets your attention and grabs your hand and takes you to a place and points to you what they want. So a child with speech delay may not have the words to say, but they would use nonverbal strategies like eye contact, getting your attention, pulling you and bringing you to somewhere and pointing, or they might grab things and give to you, and say, and indicate to you, open my chips because that's what I need. Whereas you'll find that children with autistic spectrum disorder will not look at you. When you call their name, they tend not to come to you or acknowledge that you've called them. They tend to grab you and use your hand as a tool to solve their problem, and they won't actually point to you to indicate what they need. The third thing you'll find children with autistic spectrum disorder tend to do is they have odd behaviors in terms of they might play with toys in a non-functional way. Whereas children with speech delay would still be playing with toys quite functionally. They would push a car, they would be feeding a baby doll, but a child with autistic spectrum disorder may be licking the toy, they might be lining up the car but not actually be playing with the car. You might find that their patterns of play are very repetitive. So if they have a favorite toy, they will always line it up in one specific pattern, and that pattern will never change. They might go into a room and they would always follow the same routine, and they struggle when you want to pack away and move on. So if you are out there with your little one and you're noticing, not only do they have speech delay, but you're noticing odd speech patterns, or you might find that they don't make eye contact, they don't seem to know that you exist, they won't turn to you when you call their name, and they tend to play very oddly with toys or objects. They might eat objects instead of actually take it to play. Then there could be a chance that your child has an autistic spectrum disorder and not just a speech delay. To really find out for your child specifically, the best thing you should do is to speak to your pediatrician, or you can speak to one of our expert pediatric physiotherapists here at My Favorite Physio. The number to ring here at My Favorite Physio is 0297904233. And if you know somebody out there who has a little one that they're concerned about, whether they just have a speech delay along with a gross motor skill delay, or do they have autistic spectrum disorder, why don't you like and share this video with them? Until next time, have a fantastic day. Bye.